Because I've been trying to post more regularly on YouTube, and the previous chat that we've had about whether or not Elon Musk was wrong to rely completely on cameras actually got 50 views for some reason.
Oh, really? It's an interesting topic.
Yeah, so I'm just like, heck, why not just record some of these conversations? And I want to get on the topic of whether or not, uh, two things: A, whether or not tech should have morals, and B, whether or not, uh, 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 yeah, and B, whether or not like nuclear energy should be condemned for its uh, dangers. But let's start off with the first because we've been asking, like, the startup I work at, a lot of the startups are building a lot of pertinent technology that can potentially be used for bad, right?
Hmm.
And your question was like, does that ever stop you? Is that correct?
Or does it bother you?
Like, so here's the thing. Obviously, it bothers a lot of people. Uh, And a lot of these smart guys actually have a lot of moral qualms. You've watched Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
and you've seen Oppenheimer, despite the fact that he was a mad lad genius, uh, uh, and he understood that this needed to get done. He had a lot of moral qualms about giving humanity the ability to destroy itself,
Prometheus, brother.
right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: just because you're not going to do it doesn't stop somebody else from doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, and people are gonna scream at me and say like, "Oh, that's not a fair comparison. Like, if you feel like it's not a moral thing to do, you shouldn't do it." Here's the thing, and like all the AI players are saying the same thing. And there was a speaking point about Mark Zuckerberg's feud in Congress too. If we don't do it, our adversaries are gonna do it, and they're gonna have a leg up, and they're gonna take over. We need to stay ahead of them to ensure that whatever technology they have is obsolete.
Right. Yeah. Which has always been that
Mhm.
rhetoric, I guess.
Right. And second, the second part to this is just because something is dangerous doesn't automatically disqualify its perks, right? So think about a knife. A lot of people die by knives. A lot of people die by knives. You come to Korea, guns are illegal here in Korea, but people still commit murders with what? With knives, like kitchen knives, cutter blades, etc., etc.
Sure.
Fucking insane. But that being said, are we suddenly gonna ban knives?
No.
Right? No, obviously not, because knives can be used to prepare food. Knives can be used to was it to help build tools and other merchandise that helps the economy continue to roll.
Yeah.
Guns are a different topic, to be honest. Guns also do have certain social benefits, such as like hunting and stuff like that, but obviously it's more limited. But there is a pros and cons analysis that we have to do as a society
Hmm.
when we talk about the dangers of certain technology, which ties neatly back into nuclear.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm so frustrated with nuclear. The reason, and like a lot of Green Party people and a lot of people on the environmental front will tell you gr- nuclear energy isn't green,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? You've heard this.
Yeah. A lot.
Like, what do they tell you?
Well, usually it's more like um the after effect of like kind of
The nuclear
nuclear,
waste?
yeah, nuclear waste and its burial, disposal, and also people like to really emphasize the dangers of maintaining like a nuclear plant, especially because they're so outdated, or most of them now.
Right. Like, they point to Fukushima, they point to
Yeah,
Chernobyl.
yeah.
right? First of all, Chernobyl happened in like 1960s.
But people
Fukushima,
still
what?
people still argue that, like
Right, right.
it
But
still had like a huge impact on the environment still, right?
but Fukushima
Yeah.
was a freak accident
Yeah, that was
by God.
yeah.
It was a goddamn earthquake. Give me another instance after Chernobyl and the 3 Mile incident where a nuclear power suddenly exploded and decimated a city into smithereens. I can't think of one. I understand the radioactivity of nuclear waste, but if you're talking about the environment from that level of inclusivity, how we have to protect everything, there isn't a thing that we can do as a society. We have to go back to being hunter gatherers, right?
Right. Wait, but didn't China just like make some developments in like nuclear energy using like don't quote me on this, like thorium or something?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with
Uh,
the trends. I think I'm trying to make a more broad point, but there
yeah,
have been advancements in like nuclear fusion as well.
yeah,
But
that's
like the
true.
thing is, it's not sustained nuclear fusion, and there's a whole caveat mumbo jumbo that we have to jump through if we want to talk about nuclear fusion. But what I want to say is, dude, like if you want to say if you want to tell me online that nuclear fission is environmentally dangerous while using your laptop on the coal powered network,
That's true.
I'm not going to take you seriously. The imminent danger that humanity faces is climate change.
Yeah,
And to mitigate against that, we have to stave off on carbon emissions. Judging by that criteria alone, nuclear fission is a must in our power grid. But and this is like some organizational advice for you moving forward as well. If you give people too many targets to hit that are all uncorrelated, you're gonna get people who cannot perform.
it's true.
So I think what the environmentalists are doing is actually super dangerous. It's telling people that you can't do this because of this, you can't do this because of this. It's actually a moving goalpost, and it's keeping people from actually doing things that matter to fix a problem.
I agree. That's why I agree with the people who say like, look, nuclear energy is not perfect,
Hmm,
but it's a stepping stone towards like a renewable future, right?
hmm.
So, like, I hear a lot of news about people or countries decommissioning their nuclear plants nowadays. I'm wondering what you think about that.
I think
Like Germany and stuff, right?
so. Here's the thing with their this is a lot more nuanced, and I will concede that fact specifically because a lot of these power plants are super old.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So decommissioning them is probably necessary. That being said, it's extending their life cycles is also necessary because there haven't been any new constructions.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm just like it's like this, dude. You haven't been stocking up on the fridge, and the only thing you have is a rotten onion.
Yeah,
You have to eat. You're gonna have to eat it, otherwise you're gonna starve to death.
yeah.
And
That's
especially if you don't have any money in the bank account to order
yeah,
DoorDash.
yeah,
You're kind of cooked, so you're gonna
yeah.
have to cook rotten onion.
Yeah, you're gonna get sick or you're gonna die.
Oh, I'd rather get.
You
Here's the
might
thing.
die either way.
Yeah, you might die either way. But if you've been starving for 48 hours plus, that rotten onion starts to look pretty damn good.
That's true.
So, like, my point is, yeah, no, we should be doing more construction for nuclear power plants, especially until we reduce our dependence on fossil fuels on our energy mix entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to ask one last question. Have you heard about deep sea mining?
Oh yeah, that's like the new hot thing, right?
Yeah, like Johnny Harris actually made a video this week.
Oh yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't. But like, isn't it like there there are a lot of people who want to do it, but it's like really impossible to get the permits and stuff?
Right, because no country will give you the permit because otherwise you're going to be ostracized from the international community.
Yeah.
That being said, the United States has actually said we're going to just go down
Damn, that's crazy.
because the United States never signs any international treaties.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's
like, what do you
gonna.
think about it? Do you think we should do it, or do you think the environmental impact is too large? Because I have a very politically loaded view of this subject.
I mean, it does seem like it's gonna be very
Hmm.
invasive to like the life
Deep
down
sea
there, like
populations.
corals and like whatever.
So full disclosure, corals don't live there.
Oh, okay.
So you should watch Johnny Harris's video. It's actually super in depth, but it seems like a desert, but there's actually a lot of species that we have yet to discover,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they live in really small populations.
Exactly. In the middle of the seafloor, like,
Right. But like what marine biologists and environmentalists are saying is that, look, first of all, I want to keep this brief so that we don't eat too much time. But essentially, they're saying that there's biodiversity down there that we have yet to research, and then there's also like they also sequester a lot of carbon as a
mhm,
life form.
yeah.
Apparently, 25% or so they claim. I haven't actually checked the science behind it. And destroying the ecosystem that far deep has unknown consequences that we have yet to fully come to terms with.
Hmm.
That being said, the metals company, which is actually Canadian, apparently,
Hmm.
I had no idea, but what they claim and what a lot of proponents of DC mining are claiming is that it's actually more environmentally friendly than land-based mining, terrestrial mining.
Interesting.
Because a lot of these they're just essentially picking up nodules from the seafloor, but they're actually just hoovering it up specifically because like and it's causing a lot of disturbance to the sand, causing a lot of dust storms, and it's going to kill a lot of fish
Yeah, yeah.
or aquaculture. And what they're saying is this is actually more environmentally friendly than just like destroying habitats on the surface of the planet.
Interesting.
And these nodules are actually so high, it's so mineral dense that it's actually more environmentally friendly to refine these things than to refine the dirt on the surface of the planet.
Valid.
But so, like, this is the sort of debate that's going on through our heads, right? I personally err on the side of the enterprise here because I do think that we need a shit ton of these metals. It's just lying on the seafloor. I understand hoovering them up might not be the best option. Then why not create new technologies that minimize the disturbance to the seafloor?
I mean, if it is less, like, as they say, less invasive than like actual mining, then
Yeah.
yeah, hell yeah. Well, it's also because like I don't know how manual this process would be, but I know like lithium mining and stuff like that is like so fucking toxic.
Okay, so they don't actually have lithium down in the deep blue sea because lithium combusts in
Oh,
water.
that's true.
Yeah.
Then what have I been reading? So what kind of minerals is it?
So there's nickel, manganese,
Oh yeah.
cobalt, and copper.
because they're just like nodules that like exist
Yeah,
like on the seabed, right?
yeah,
Rather than like you have to like dig deep down and like trying to
yeah,
find
yeah,
these
yeah.
rocks. I don't know if you say it like that, like my lame brain is just like they're kind of just there. Like maybe
Yeah.
it's low hanging fruit. I don't know.
I mean, it's either that or we do asteroid mining, but nobody's been able to do that properly yet.
I don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, so like that's the sort of stuff that goes through my head when people tell me you can't do this because it's gonna kill all the animals. It's bad for the environment. It's the radioactive. You're telling me what I can't do. You're not giving me a feasible alternative.
It's true.
And I hate it when people talk to me without a feasible alternative, only to just punch holes in my argument.
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna quit recording now.